A couple new sections today on Delta Math, so I wanted to go ahead and make sure and go over these. That way I know that you know how to do these, even though they're really Algebra 1 skills. But we're just talking about determining if you have a function out of the relationship of the numbers. So on the first part it says, which set of ordered pairs represents the function? This is the kind of problems you're going to have out of this whole section. The thing to remember about a function is every x value can only have one y value. So the first thing I'm looking at is seeing if I can see matching x values. In A, the first option, none of these have the same x value. So I know that's going to be my answer because this could represent a function based on that alone. Because if I look down here, see I got a -4 on my x value, I got another -4 x value. Well, this one's got a -4 with it, and that one's got an 8 for the y. You can only have one y value for every x value. So where there's a -4 and a -4 here, you can't also have an 8 at -4. Every x value only has one y value. Same thing down here. I got -8 and -8, and then I have another -8 for an x value, but it's got -5 for y. So that's two different y values for the same x value. And then again, down here I've got 7, 9, 7, 1. Can't have a 9 and a 1 as y values for my 7. That's an x value. So really, the only thing you really have to do on this function or in this section, you need to understand what does represent a function. But as far as actually doing the work, just really all you have to do is look at the x values and see if any of them match. If you have matching x values, then that's not going to be an option because that means it'll have separate y values, and you can only have one y for every x. See, a function x does not repeat. All these x's are different. This right here shows you not functions because x repeats. You got x and x, the same x there, and then you have the same x here and here, and then you have the same x here and here. Pretty easy. Then you go to this section, and this is where you do the vertical line test. You probably remember that. That just means that if you can draw a vertical line anywhere and cross the graph more than once, then it's not a function. On this one, we can't do that. Even though it looks like that's starting to go vertical, it's still slightly going to the right a little bit. So as long as every x value only has one y value, then it's going to be a function. So we're going to call that a function. Yay, it passes the vertical line test, and it gives you a little vertical line to show you. A little animation, so that's good. New problem. Now this one obviously will not be a function. I can draw a vertical line here. I'm crossing the graph more than once if I draw a vertical line anywhere through here. Same thing over here. If I can cross the graph more than once with a vertical line, it's not a function. And it gives you your line. See how that line's touching the graph in two spots the whole time, all the way through there, and then all the way through here? Not a function. Vertical line crosses the graph more than once. Another function. This would be a function. This doesn't actually curve back over itself. This doesn't curve underneath or anything. Every x value only has one y value. Get your little animation. That's what's good about Delta Math. It gives you a good visual. It's still a function, even though it just kind of starts here and goes off to the right. We'll talk about specifics of that function later on, but for right now, we're just going to say yes, it is a function, because the vertical line never crosses more than one time. It's going to be another function. You guys should get the hang of this pretty quick. Vertical line never crosses more than one time. And these should be easy anyway, just because it's a 50-50 shot. Like right here, vertical line is going to cross that both times. Even though individually this would be a function, and individually that would be a function, if you put them on top of each other, then it's not a function. Can't be, because it crosses more than once. Really, that's all there is to it.